This is Warriors Anonymous.
Hello, Falawa. Welcome to Warriors Anonymous. We've got the whole gang back together. The band is back together this week. Welcome along, everyone. My name is Jared Cronin. We've got a star-studded lineup for you tonight. First of all, the man who's coming back from HIA. He's returned. He's recovered.
And I'm happy to
Morning
be
to Sauce.
back.
How are you, brother?
And sorry, boys. Yeah, I took a bit of a knock, but I'm back now. So, yeah.
Nah, that's right, bro. It's a duty of care, bro. We're looking out for each other, so that's all good, man.
It coincided with Mitch Barnett's return
maybe.
too. Is there something in that?
Yeah,
Hey,
maybe.
come back to add some starch to our podcast, have you?
Hope so. But we'll see what
Bit of
happens.
straight talking.
It's good to see you, boys. Good to see you, boys.
No, good to have you back, bro. Really good to have you
about
back. Also good to have Saucy Isaac Sauce. He's still got the Heritage
Woody?
Round.
Just said the Woody.
The Woody.
Okay. I was like, oh,
Heritage Round.
The Woody.
Yeah, the Woody. The
Yeah.
Woody.
That's why it's so long. It hides the. Oh no. Anyway, hey, yes, wearing the hoodie still because it is bitch ass cold in Wellington.
Right.
So yeah,
What are we talking, like, sort of wind chill factor of?
temperature 9, maybe wind chill factor down to like 5 or something. It's been brutal today. It has just been ice cold.
Ooh.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
That's cool. Stephen McIver. Had his birthday the other day too. Stephen McIver. Happy birthday, Steve.
Hey.
We've also got our man who was on the ground at the game on Saturday against the Dolphins. Daniel Wharekara. Hey, bro. How was
Kia ora te whānau.
How was it live? You were part of the sellout crowd, the biggest NRL crowd of the round. How was it being there?
It was great. Fantastic. A little nervous pre-game, as you can imagine, coming off the back of that last week's game, but awesome. Got along about an hour before kickoff. Managed to get a $10 park for some kids fundraising for a baseball tournament they're going to in South Korea. Love that. Just over in the industrial park.
Nice.
Around Penrose. Started walking with the crowd, as you do. All jerseys, all hats, just so much WARS gear everywhere leading to the stadium. Rock up to the stadium. Straight in there with a hot dog on the stick. Reminded me of Athletic Park days. Gee, remember those days?
Yeah.
How good. I laid off those. Not good for me in the sort of older age I have. Can't really shift those corn dogs these days.
The vaguely meat corn dog.
Yeah, my wife is disgusted. She's a vegetarian. She's like, fuck, how can... And the bro was just on him, man. He was like, we had to wait for the fries because everyone wants fries, eh? And there's always people that line up and they order like, 15 chips, 19 hot dogs. Bro, any chance. But got to our seats. We were over on the west side this time. So east side last time, west side this time. It was good. What I love, you're sitting down with some members and they look all nice and, hey man, how you getting on? 10 minutes into a fucking ref, what they're doing. And there's a guy there, and he looks like Ejid, clean cut, nice shaven, and looks like a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday sort of guy. It just lets loose in the weekends, supporting the Wars, and his son is right next to him as well. But yeah, just great. And then obviously get the win. We head off into the crowds, disperse out Mount Smart. Everyone's in a joyful mood. A few people almost getting run over because they're waving flags in the middle of the road. And had a beeline back to where we stayed and grabbed some cheeseburgers. Like just the best day, best night.
Game day experience.
10
On
out of
point.
10.
Now, I would actually put it to you that the actual peak of the game day experience might have been happening at halftime, and I've got a bit of footage here for the YouTube.
This is the best
audience.
thing I've ever seen.
Because I know that I've seen the old YouTube videos of that one back in the day where it had the NRL or what would it be, like New South Wales Rugby League players, like the fastest guy from each club, full
What the
kit,
hell's this?
and they're all running against each other, 100-meter sprint. But I think what they did at at Mount Smart, the Go Media Stadium on the weekend might have been better.
Yeah, so just to give some context for obviously being in the stands, at halftime, Jono and Ben rock up and they talk about their new mascot, which is the hippo here in the bottom left corner. But they parade all these other reasonably iconic in the sort of Wellington and across the country mascots from all walks of life. You've got Giraffe, the longest drink in town. Classic.
Okay, yep.
You've got Steely Dan in the mix somewhere.
Yep.
Right there. You've got a whole bunch of kind of like Lord of the Rings and sort of Star Wars type get-ups. You've got the pirate, who's the blues guy as well, which I didn't really know because, it's a bit random. Pirate and the blues. But they just started walking towards the try line. I was like, please, please, please. Oh, yes, it's going to be a race.
What sort of situation do we have out here on the left edge, Buddha? Is this like another giraffe over here, or
that might be what's that giraffe that goes around the van, the deer van?
Yeah, like the Harold or something.
Harold has a
Harold the giraffe.
Wasn't the reading giraffe or something like that? Was the portable library or something?
Yeah, they do that. They do like life skills and like don't smoke weed at school, that sort of stuff. They obviously go to Onslow, did they? Never turned up to Onslow.
Just lost cause there. Yeah. Turned it back around, head to Newlands College.
Oh, this is cool. We've got some kind of produce here in the middle as well.
Yeah, I think it's a banana.
So, yeah.
Banana pineapple hybrid.
The potatoes there who will feature late.
Let's run the tape on it because this is amazing. I reckon.
Yeah, because like nothing goes better than a milkshake and some fries, eh? Side by side.
Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. I thought, when I saw that snippet for halftime entertainment, I was like, oh, this does not get any better. Huge entertainment for the family.
Well done, One Media.
No strikers.
Media Stadium and One Warriors. Well done.
Oh, that's good.
No. Not this time.
They opened it up and told the streakers, here, put a uniform on, and then you can do it.
That's
and
right.
then that's what happened, and then just absolute halftime magic. There you go.
Yeah.
Beaten to the punch.
Imagine if they put it to every streaker, you have to go 100 meters. They might be like, okay, maybe not.
Apparently, legally, I think they can be like fined and stuff, but they can't be charged legally because those ones who've been invading have not been naked.
Yes.
If you are naked, you are in legal trouble.
Yeah.
Public nuisance.
They just get
Just a couple of hit
bans and fines.
Fines or something like that, but nothing they can do.
No.
To the legal
I think based off last week's effort, we realised that those streakers actually potentially cost the Warriors the game. I mean, the Warriors didn't play well last week, I don't think. Didn't bring the intensity. But when they needed to come back, it stopped all momentum.
For sure. Now, going into the game, Jason Paris, CEO of One New Zealand, supposedly backtracked on his comments. That was what it was framed as. I'm not buying that at all. I stand by everything he said about the probably the language with the word cheating might have just probably pushed it over the edge, but good to see he's playing it smart, save a bit of coin and save face for everyone. The NRL gets to, hang around the campfire and sing Kumbaya. Good job, everyone.
Didn't we say that it's like an argument with your missus? As soon as you swear, you're going. And he used the word cheating, eh? And he had a really good point. And he said cheat, and it was done.
Yeah. Now,
Damn, I swore, Buck.
Also, going into the game on Saturday, it was being framed as a blackout, as in the beautiful old black and silver uniforms are back. My particular favorite vintage. So I thought I'd throw it up as a bit of a hard on for the boys. We'll start with you, Monitor. Is the Warriors' black color scheme superior to the blue color scheme?
I look at it like from two different views, right? I think the blue looks better, but the black brings back good memories. I think at a time when Ruben Wiki was playing and all that stuff, that when we had a really good solid team. So it's a hard one. I think for me, this is my welcome back moment. The blue one, I think looks better, but the black one brings back more memories.
Blue?
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that it's definitely a bit of a lightning rod of discussion, and so I understand either way on this one. Isaac, Mr. Uri up there, bro. What do you think, black or blue?
I like the black one so much. I think we're gonna have to color in my hoodie like that. Basically, I reckon it's sharp. Eh? If they wore that uniform all year round, I'd be pretty happy. I mean, nice to see the traditional uniform, but that black and grey one just stands out so well. I reckon. I'm a fan.
Yeah, beauty.
Oh yeah.
Potter, you got to see it live in the flesh, seeing the black and silver flying around. What do you prefer? What's your personal preference, black or blue?
It's hard to choose, you know. I quite like the earlier rounds in the blue, and then when it gets a bit colder and darker, and I like the black. So I'm really on the fence. What I don't like is if we were to wear the jersey with the fucking white shorts. Like we did last year or the year before. Was it last year? We've already had a moan about this as well. So do not mix and match. And to throw another one out there, I like the one where it must have been around the same era just after, where they had the grey with the black.
Oh, yes.
I think Sione Faumuino, a lot of what football he played and those boys played. Yeah. That was a great strip as well. So maybe it's in the next range.
I think that was the away version of the black and silver.
Yeah, of that season's iteration.
Yeah, so
man, it was cool.
What a great era that was. Anyways, hard-hitting issues of the day, as always, boys. Onto the match itself.
News.
Yeah. Onto the game itself. Moneta, you can take the first hit up for this one because you're the man back. Bro, what impressed you most
like having
about
Barnett back,
the game against the Dolphins?
AFB, just everything. Like we had the go forward. I just can't wait till Jazz Tavanga and Dylan Walker, and we'll have a full strength side. And I'm actually thinking we have a chance of the top 4. Like I'm actually like, oh my gosh, I actually believe we could get there. And SJ, he rewinded the clock all the way back to 2011. Like I thought with those, he created that try. Both of them, sidestepping across and stuff like that. And so yeah, he was amazing. DWZ with his mullet, he played fantastic. Oh my gosh, and it was good to see Metcalf, on support play. I don't know, it's just so much. I mean, if I was being nitpicky, the first half was a bit, we had our chances, and again we got over the trial and we got held up, and there's certain things we could have done better. But that's almost a good thing because we know we need to improve on a lot more. But yet we're still playing good. And while I was away, I still thought, even though we lost, I still thought we looked a way better team than we did last year. Like all those losses, I thought. But we're still a better team. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
Awesome, bro. Isaac, it was pleasing to see us kick on and get a decent sized win. Helps the points differential, helps get a bit of confidence. As Moneta said, we left a lot of points still out there on the table. But bro, Sean Johnson, I didn't know he had that in him still, I thought he'd kind of evolved and was going to play like a sort of veterans game, but man, he's managed to find the fountain of youth somewhere. He's bouncing around like the old Sean.
I've had a feeling he's had it in him and he's just not pulled it out of the bag of tricks, just maybe because of the injuries that he's had in the past, with his ankle and Achilles. But I've always felt that there's been glimpses of that sort of play throughout the season where he's poked his nose through the line or thrown a dummy and had a go. But this was the first time, and I thought this will be huge for the rest of the season, that he's just put it on his shoulders and had a punt, and then twice it's come off. And so you're not a Warriors fan if you don't say that you love seeing that from him, because no one else can do what he does. Like no one can step like that, move, and beat defenders in a telephone booth the way he did in that second try. That was just insane. So I was just jumping up and down and just loving seeing Sean Johnson not just doing what he does best, because this year he's been, he's a whole nother level, but then you add this sort of performance on the top, really scary for opposition teams when they're doing the, the checklist of what to look out for in the next game. They're like, shit, he's going to run. Let's all be on watch for that. So love it. Yeah, makes you feel like it was 10 years ago, mate. It was awesome.
Sure does. Let's go.
I think just to add to that, I think he watching it, like you go back to last week, Reno did this. You know, I think he saw from what Reno did, he ran and tied forwards in the middle. And I mean, obviously it wasn't tied forwards, but he ran at Tohu, got through Reno last week. This is what Sean did this week. You know, he saw the mismatch, he got past Bromwich, and he was over. And the other thing which you see live is the shape that's coming out the back. Like you saw, you know, what they had presented, and also helped by, and I guess even with this, with not only just in those try movements, but also in other attacking raids, Egan's service, like the ball Egan gives him, like power, you know, just off the deck straight to where it is, just means he gets out so much quicker as well. So, you know, all those little factors, and especially that second try, like the game was not in the balance, like we were grinding, which I really love, because last week we got a bit frustrated. We couldn't score and we just kind of tossed our toys out, but we went back to the grind, and the game was kind of in the balance to a point, and then just, as you said, in the phone booth, a little shimmy right, and then the little accelerate through, and then just beat 3 defenders over the line. It was fucking beautiful.
Because you could kind of see a bit of frustration in him in the lead up. We had the Dallins try disallowed from Ukore, just not getting his line right. And Sean was going off at the ref about that, you know, and, you know, having a go at him. And there was, other things going on. You could just see a little bit of frustration building up. But he just decided, like, the hell with this. I'm just going to get the ball and I'm just going to bloody do it, you know. Going to get those points. And that's I love that. I love that. First of all, the athleticism.
He showed that in the
also the attitude
after.
as well. He's just like
he actually owned up to
bro.
the fact that his last 2 games he wasn't performing, and I don't think he was that bad, but it just kind of shows that he's got a kind of different attitude to how he approaches things. And I think his off-season training, like, you know, when we saw him with his 6-pack, whatever, he looked the fittest that I'd ever seen him. So that might have lent himself to this year being what it is now. Yeah. Depends which one you have.
It's all about the 6-pack, eh? You too can turn back the clock. All right.
Not a 6-pack of Woodies. No,
Oh, bro.
no, Napier.
Oh, and also not even to be fair, they only did 330 mils at Mount Smart as well. Napier handing out 550 ml woodstock cans. So you had punters who had 2.2 liters of woody, just like, and I saw a few punters hit that twice. Like, wow, 4.4 liter of woody up in your grill. So yeah, it was a little tamer. You know, I guess they're a little bit more used to the league.
Oh man,
back at Go Media.
Yeah,
Those
go
tall
media.
boys don't do anybody any favors.
That's right. Isaac, who were your standouts for the team out there? Buddha said about, you know, the Wade Egan factor, that was huge. Who did you like out there?
Oh, I mean, yeah, Wade Egan, and that's not a disservice to the work that Freddie Lussick's been doing, but as soon as Egan comes back, there's just a noticeable increase in what's just the creativity and just that, you know, the sleight of hand, the little drift out. Just he manages to time his passes so well, it gives people time and space. And Lussick's arguably going to learn that trade from him. But yeah, noticeable difference. Mitch Barnett, he just brought a whole different energy to the team, a bit of mongrel, and I think you would have seen AFB. One of the huge hits he put on. That, I think, that was just a direct flow-on effect from Barnett's energy. And arguably, if you're not going to have Tavanga or Walker there, a guy like, knowing that you've got another guy like Barnett that can bring the same level of intensity is just massive for the team. So I thought, yeah, Egan, Barnett were great. And then DWZ, Curls get the girls. You know, I thought he played out of his skin there. That intercept, when he knocked it down, it looked like he hit it downwards as well. Yeah. And for him to be able to hit it down with his right hand and scoop it back with his left, I mean, that is no mean feat. And the past month or so, he has been playing out of his skin. So, yeah, what a game. I mean, yeah, second half, they turned it around big time and really just opened up the floodgates, which is great to see. It's nice to get a big score like that.
It was that intercept was freakish. It wasn't like a tap down. It was like a winning shot in paddleball. He smacked it, and then somehow was able to chuck his hands underneath and scoop it up and run off. But yeah, incredible.
It's so funny
stuff.
watching it live, even with the one that Cody got. You're watching the game and you're seeing it go this way. Next thing you know, the ball's gone, and then the player's going the other way.
That one that Cody, shit, cameraman missed that one. It was just like, and he was already gone. That was insane.
Yeah. So the thing with that, and like, it was a slight negative, but it was a good game. But tip sheet: Cody's never going to try to tackle you, dummy. To be fair, he's playing a lot better at the Dolphins, but when you're like that, the last thing Cody's ever going to do is try to tackle you. So you just dummy, always roll over him.
Yeah.
But yeah, just how quickly you look this way, next thing you know, he's gone.
Yeah.
As well, just like Dallin. And then the only thing with Dallin, when he made it through, and then I was just watching my son's face. Like as soon as he saw him, he was like, and my daughter Darcy was like, he's smiling at us. Because he gets the ball about halfway down the track and he knows he's free. He just turns to the crowd and starts smiling.
That's beautiful. He almost needs to have like was it in the second movie of like the Hunger Games, and they start coming out in front of the crowd and have like flames and shit come off them. They could have like Dallin, as soon as he gets like an intercept, have some kind of flame thing coming out the back of the mullet just to set it off.
There might be too many fumes though. Set his hair on fire. You might want to be careful of that.
Pepsi commercial.
Have a Michael Jackson Pepsi moment.
I just want to make a shout out to CNK. Like the way he's been playing lately, just the way he grinds, and I want him to stay at fullback when Finn comes back.
Grind on me, push your body right on me. Yeah, he's awesome, bro.
I've got to say one thing I think we need to work on is just our maybe, I don't know if it's an instinct thing or whatnot, but I'm calling them the X Factor plays, and these are where we make a break. Like Mitch Barnett gets into space, and sort of maybe just looking to make the right decision a bit better going forward, rather than not throwing the intercept pass. If you've beaten the guy, if you can see you've beaten the guy, just keep going. There was a couple of other ones as well, like Chance when he made that break off the Montoya pass, and he has Cody in front of him, and he's got Metcalf to his left. And if he just draws Cody, I'm thinking, man, Metcalf is going to straight away and score. But he just didn't draw him, he just passed it too early, got a little bit too excited, and I'm like, man. Also, Metcalf as well himself, he got dragged down close to the line, and then did the old change the hand, and then reach out. No, it's never going to be a try. It's just maybe just getting into those situations and kind of just being a little bit more heads up about what we're doing, because I feel like we're really creating chances, but also not taking
on that
full
one.
advantage.
On that one with Metcalf, I thought Metcalf had him, so you could see it. Like to Cody's credit, he did a great job there. He held off on him as well, didn't bite in on Chance. So again, tip sheet as you say, but I actually thought, shit, Metcalf can take him, and now fucking Cody can wrap him up. To be fair, didn't put him out, and the touchy fucking said he was out. They didn't put him out. Came off balance to Fade, but and the other one, which was fucking annoying in the first half, is near Corday makes a break down the outside and sticks the fucking bomb up.
Was that like that as well?
Yeah, I know. It's like this is maybe the stuff, especially in the first half of this week's game, was kind of similar to last week. We were had opportunities as well, and I felt like we didn't grind it, we didn't get patient. And we were trying to score off every play, which is a bit frustrating, right? So that big kick goes through, and Cody just cleans it up, and he runs 30 meters as well.
Yeah.
So, I know what you mean. But we did ice a few, which was really nice. Yeah, really nice. Obviously, what I loved is the fact that we had some support play. We actually had Mitchie Barnett is just tracking down the middle, and if Metcalf's got one job and he did it in the second half, it is to fucking be on the end of those breaks.
He glides.
And I think he was on.
I
He
love
swapped
the
the
way
other
he
side,
runs,
and
just like-
fucking he was
glides.
away and looked beautiful.
Yeah.
He's quick, man. Like you can see when he was through, he was gone. No,
Yeah.
you weren't stopping him.
Oh, sorry.
Juanito,
Can you hear me?
You're a little
One,
bit
two.
quiet there on the microphone. There we go. There we can hear you. Some
We
makes
have
it
a
hard.
problem.
Now, Isaac, the guy who's had a little bit of up and down kind of season, the cleanup king, Josh Curran, bro, he was like cleaning up on every aisle. He was cleaning up on bloody aisle 3, aisle 4. He was bouncing over, different sides of the field, playing edge forward, center, setting up a try towards the end. Like, bro, this guy, what can he do?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, didn't they shift him to center with the injury to Rocco Berry? And then he just, inserted himself into that game and just decided to put it on his shoulders and just chase every dog that was running around the park, basically, and just either tackle them or run into them or whatever. He was great. And it's just, energy. It's just a big difference when you get players coming in with a different energy to them, and they bring that on the field, and players see that, they feel it, they pick up off of it, and they play with that same sort of intensity themselves, which is, Barnett and Curran in particular, they brought that level of energy that I don't want to say we've been lacking, but we've been lacking it a little bit just because of injuries, which is just part and parcel of the way these seasons go. But you need players like that can just bring that intensity and, just lift the players when they need to be lifted. So Curran was huge in that respect.
Yeah, nice, bro. But when you're watching the game in the first half, from where I was sitting, it looked as though a lot of the times the Dolphins were just getting up and just belting us on a lot of occasions. But pleasing for us is that we kind of just hung in there and knew that we could kind of finish over the top of them. Sylvester Stallone, and we did that. It was we were helped by the sin binning, Milford's dumb bloody play, but the fact we were able to turn the cap to the back and get into that wrestle and finish the stronger. How pleasing was that? For how pleasing do you think that would be for, first of all, for the coaches?
Very pleasing, considering the week before where we lacked intent, I think, especially in. Well, I just went to the netball final last night, and they call that the third quarter, that championship quarter. So that's that for us. It's just the start of the second half, first 20 minutes of the second half, and I think that's where we won the game, right? And last week that's where we lost the game because we'd given away too many points. This week we went down to ground and pound. We went, we started to.
It's an NFL team.
Yeah, choose my words wisely.
And they made Kai Kara Francis.
Refi and that shit. Refi. So we actually reverted back to what's going to win this game? We're going to grind the fuckers out. So, and was a period, that sort of 5-10 minute period where they couldn't get out of their half, they couldn't exit. Chans and Dallin were just bringing the ball back really quickly as well, and then we just got our opportunity. So really pleasing, because I think instead of going for these heroic plays like we're doing in the first half and what we tried to do last week, we actually just dismantled them piece by piece, and then we had a flurry, and things stuck. Everything stuck. There's we talked about the Metcalf try. There was a few hands supported that. Egan darts off, Sirinen up ball up to Corday through, pivot ball to Metcalf. Like all those things just stuck. Yep. So, it was just that 20 minutes. We really put the nail in the coffin.
We've had some really pleasing tries over the course of the season so far, but that Metcalf try for me, I was like, oh, that's beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. That gets us excited. Now in New South Wales Cup footy, unfortunately the Warriors were beaten by the Rabbitohs 24-22. over at Redfern Oval. Popped along to Redfern on the weekend. Gotta say, it's a little bit of a scary place, Redfern. But yeah, it's interesting. Interesting little spot. At one point, the Bunnies were hard on attack, and referee had to stop play because someone's dog had just wandered onto the field. And everyone was like, what the hell? And he was kind of like, he was a friendly dog, but he looked a little bit rough. So people weren't quite sure if they were, able to grab him by the collar and sort of drag him off. So there was a little bit of a hold up for that. But yeah, ultimately, the guys went down. Probably a bit of a flow on effect from, not having, a lot of those fringe kind of first grade players available in the team. But anyways, next up they're going to be playing against Canberra next week. So there's still fourth spot on the ladder as well. So that's all good. Yeah, we'll see how they bounce back. I got to say, I was actually quite happy to be at the game and see someone else's dog on the field that wasn't mine, because I'd taken Prince Miles along. I was like, oh, jeez. Phew. Keep him under control. Now, we missed a bit of a track last week because it was Vaiaso o Lengana Samoa, Samoan Language Week. And I thought for tonight we'd do a bit of a throwback name for Samaname. And that's someone who again, in a similar vein to Haitro Okesene, probably never had his name said correctly in his whole career. And that is Jerry Siu.
See you.
That's right.
Jerry.
Even the guys around the office are still like, I'd see you, Jerry. But yeah, poor old Jerry Siu is actually Jerry Seu.
Sail.
Yeah.
Sell.
Yeah.
Jerry Sell.
That's right. Not as hard on the
I saw
CUC.
you, Jerry.
It's got a bit of panache, I got to admit, even with that mispronunciation. But yeah, just got to say it straight. Jerry Seal.
Jerry Sail.
Perfect.
Bye. Sell.
All right, Buddha, move us on, bro. Let's have a look at a weekly edition of the delicious, nutritious NRL wrap.
NRL wrap with a little extra Origin flavour.
Oh, Queensland.
A little of this.
Sprinkle it.
Yeah.
So we're going to get one Queenslander here, eh?
Get out right now.
That guy. I mean, it's got to be mentioned. I don't know how New South Wales lose that game from that position, but Queensland do what Queensland do, and they did as well. So
They always do it.
They always do it. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to put it down to the coaches. I reckon. I just don't think Freddie has got a game plan. I just don't think he's. Where you look at Billy, he's got game plan, man. He's got the little set moves here and there. They've got shape. They know what to do where things go south. Obviously, he's got a group of players that can play any position. I don't know where Ben Hunt was playing in the last fucking 5 minutes. He must have been front row. I don't know.
They lost Nathan Cleary.
2 wingers they lost as well. But
no, New South Wales, yeah. They're fucked.
Right.
actually, for me, I think there's an issue with Cleary and Luai in terms of their ability to actually go after Queensland. Yes, they are, they've won 2 grand finals. But I don't know, just Origin footy is different. Cleary can't dominate, can he?
Yeah, and I think they're probably maybe guilty of trying to play it too much like NRL and going, all right, we've got this whole effectively most of the Penrith spine this year or last year, and yeah, it's not quite the same as it's not the same sort of footy. And I'm with you, bro. I honestly, I've been pretty sus on Freddie even since last year. I was like, bro, you better win, man. Like with the talent you've got, I'd still back the team.
Here's a question for you three.
If they could
How about Teddy?
have a different coach.
There's questions around him at number 1.
Oh yeah. I was definitely thinking, is he worthy of that spot given how Dylan Edwards has been playing? Teddy did some Teddy things in the weekend, which is good, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't think he's been the player
No.
that they think he is some 2-3 years ago, right?
Yep. That was about the worst performance I've seen Teddy put on, to be fair.
And it's not like he's bad. They're bad in some parts. He gives a lot, but it doesn't threaten the opposition anymore, really, does it? Like, he's just not throwing anything. And look at someone like Hammer.
Bloody hell, he
Like,
burnt
scares you,
Josh
eh?
Adokar.
The Hammer out wide.
Jesus.
The Hammer's quick, eh? And then, and they gave him ball out wide quick, and then Reece Walsh, man, like, I don't think he had huge involvements, right? But he did what he did, for the Broncos this year, and what he did for us, right? He can lay tries on. He can make plays. They didn't test him really either, did they?
Yeah.
On that Teddy point, I mean, I think he deserves another shot. He's, he's been one of their all-stars for a long time. Sure, maybe in the past couple of years he hasn't been up to his usual standard, but I think all the work before that sort of period of time gives him every right to sort of stay there until until it's really time for him to step down and hand over the torch over to someone like Dylan Edwards. Because what more can he do? What more can a guy like Dylan Edwards do to play himself into a blue jersey? But yeah, Teddy deserves that right.
Oh, I think so, man. I think he does, but I mean, he's got to refine his role. Like, he's just not attacking menace enough, to get the ball every, late in the set and to take one out runs. It just doesn't do it for me, man.
Is that his fault or Freddie's fault? Is that Freddie's coaching?
That's the thing.
That his stamp on it. Is he's not really using these players in their most effective way.
Yeah, I agree.
What I love the most, though, is that both, obviously, Freddie and Billy are Channel 9 pundits. So literally they got to sit side by side now, eh? And Freddie just feels all the shit because, like, Joey Johns is blowing up and how shit they were. And then they all got to sit around the table and analyse that game and the rest of the games coming up. It's crack up. But.
Awkward. I'd be scared if I was Luai as well, without his partner in crime, Cleary. I mean, people were already on the fence about having him in Origin. They were saying, maybe Nico Hines could slip into 6, but they sort of were going off the combination of Cleary and Luai. Now Cleary's out. You've got guys like Matty Johns saying, I'd like to see a guy like Cody Walker in the 6 role. Because that Penrith combination's gone, do you get a more creative player like Cody in there for another chance? I mean, I think his time's passed, but interesting that guys like Matty Johns are saying that Cody Walker deserves another chance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of panic in New South Wales.
Yeah, you guys, hey.
Yeah. Panic stations, people. DEFCON 5. Cody
They
Walker's
could
coming
try
back.
a whole new team. You could go, Cook out there. I think he probably deserves a spot on the bench as well. I don't like the
I
one
just couldn't
hooker
believe
thing.
Adokar
You
got
need the two
burned.
hooker thing,
Man.
in Origin.
Like, usually he usually run downs people.
Oh, man,
But like,
Hammer's
he got
quick, bro.
burnt. Jeez.
Yeah, Hammer's
He's
just a
got good
speed
top
operator.
end, doesn't he? But Hammerso is probably the
good to
is like
watch,
the
I tell ya.
fastest over
Yeah.
10, 15.
Sorry, Queenslander.
Yeah. But
Yeah, enjoy it now.
Queenslander!
Yeah.
no, man, I love it. I just knew they couldn't wrap it up. I just had a feeling they couldn't wrap it up. Even with a man down, I was like, nah. And then obviously, fucking Lindsay Collins outleaps
Oh
Teddy.
gosh.
A front rower. I mean, that's Origin for you, though, isn't it? But, so, yeah, panic stations. But we'll just do a quick little look around. I didn't watch too much footy. There's been a few things off field, not great.
Dylan Brown.
D Barnes.
Demons,
Now.
what have you been up? Oh, what have you been up to, bro? Bro, no. In other news, Braithen Nesta might be the next Bachelor.
Yeah. He's being encouraged to do some inappropriate touching.
Oh, rough. So yeah, it's interesting. I did just, however, watch the Raiders-Tigers game just then.
Yep.
As well, just the highlights. And yeah, I guess we can comment on that very soon. But Shit, that went down to the wire, didn't it?
It was a beauty. That was
Yep.
a really, when you watch a game, you just feel fortunate that you turned it on at the very time you did. Because I turned it on with about 18 minutes left. It
Beautiful.
was 18-0 to the Raiders, and I was like, oh. And all of a sudden, game just took off.
Yeah, Tiger Town. Yeah, came out
Yeah.
to play when
I
that
thought they had it too,
Sunday night.
Tigers. Poor old Tiggies.
And then they fucked up the end, just so tigerish.
Yeah, they fucked up the end.
It's kind of Warriors-esque.
Yeah,
Oh, so they don't know what they're doing. They go, we're going to go for a try. We're going to go here. We're going to run out of time. Oh, no, we've run out of time. Oh, no, we'll go back. We'll try his drop goal. It was messy. But I think in what they did is the key to put them away, which we will need to adhere to for this week. I did just catch this as well, man. The Cowboys
Yeah.
absolutely humped the Storm.
that was insane to watch. That really was. Scott Drinkwater had a field day out there. He was in everything,
Drinky.
that guy.
Was it just the sort of performance that the Cowboys have just been trying to do, the whole season, and it's been a bit frustrating throughout, and all of a sudden they just finally got it to click and took it out on the Storm? Oh, how good.
I think so. It was kind of neck and neck, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then for some reason the Cowboys just went yeehaw and just ran roughshod all over the Storm. It was, and the Storm were just trying to throw all these shots, and the Cowboys were just like, "Nah, ball, here you go. We'll show you how to do it." They would just counterattack and show the Storm how it was done. It was bellyache would have been absolutely blowing up nuclear.
Dal Holmes was amazing as well.
God.
Like, he was awesome, and Murray Taulangi, he's solid, man. How good was? And to be fair, he was awesome on Origin, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was saving shit left, right,
The
and
magic
centre.
man.
He is the magic man, And I didn't really watch this, but I just had a glance at it because obviously Panthers win just over the Dragoons, but they lose Nathan. And actually, there's a whole lot of other Origin players injured as well. Jai Arrow, as well as Conor Murray. Conor Murray?
Cameron
He's
Murray.
Irish.
Yeah,
Cameron
Conor
Murray.
Murray. Yeah.
Yeah. Which kind of says, like, if you're backing up from Origin, you're going to get injured, aren't you? It's a lot of load on the body. So all you fuckers go get injured. So us Warriors will be sweet.
Yeah. You like it.
But, that's the wrap, boys.
Beauty. Good stuff, bro. Before we have a look at the upcoming game against the Raiders. Give me a good game, actually. Fascinating encounter. I'm going to throw this one to you, Isaac, with a little bit of assistance on screen as well. We're going to have a look into some Greg Spence gold for the week. This is the weekly expense account.
Wow.
Ching, 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 ching.
You can really work some wonders on that Commodore 64 there, Jared. Wow! How many floppy disks did it take to get this? Okay, so prior to joining the club, Murata Niokore hadn't played 80 minutes in an NRL game since 2021 September, and he averaged just 44 minutes per game in 2022. Since his return from suspension 6 weeks ago, he has played 80 minutes 3 times and is averaging 70 minutes. So the more minutes for him, the better, I reckon.
Can I just say, watching it live as well, you could see him. He was literally sat on top of Katoa the whole time, the little halfback. And every run, he was just literally picking his son up and just moving him.
Furniture
It was awesome.
movement.
Moving the furniture.
Yeah, no, he was literally taking his son to daycare. It was like that. Like, come on, son, let's go. And march forward another 10 metres.
Well, is he putting him up on his shoulders? As
Up on the shoulders, pretty much. Yeah.
Let's go, Qatar. Next, in the last 4 matches between the Raiders and the Warriors, the leading team at halftime has ended up losing. Remember that?
Fucked up, eh?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Fucked up, man.
They should do a tri-series between the Raiders, the Warriors, and the Titans.
Oh,
Half-time battles.
What, do you want to go New South Wales, Queensland, and New Zealand
don't say that.
tri-series? Ooh, I remember that. Anyway, Yeah, 5 Warriors players have kicked field goals in games against Canberra, including Mark Ellis, of all people.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in case
I have
you
no
forgot that he
recollection
played
of
for the
this.
Warriors. Yeah.
Mate, SJ loves a field goal, doesn't he, against
Yeah.
the Raiders?
Against the Raiders, which leads me to my next point that SJ has scored 26
there you go.
points against the Raiders on 2 separate occasions. So if he does it for the third time, we probably win.
Is-
And that's your expense
Isn't that
account.
Croker's? Isn't
Beautiful.
that Croker's
It's a quick
300
expense. Ching, ching,
game
ching, ching, ching,
too?
ching. Thank you,
It's
Isaac.
going to be quite an emotional one.
Yep.
Yes. Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
He missed the last game just so he can make this his homecoming game the 300th. Yeah, like
No, mate. No. That's not how it is, mate. You bloody muppets in the media, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Sticky.
I
was
haven't got a
fired up
problem with
already.
it. I'm like, I don't fucking
No, I don't. I don't. Because
have a problem either. He
I
deserves
know
it.
he's the spiritual leader of that club, obviously, but it wasn't necessary to make my top 17. But hey, there might be words that come back to bite us.
Yeah, Kroger turns it on, turns back the clock.
Yeah, so we're going to be heading to play the Raiders on Friday night over in Canberra at GIO Stadium. So yeah, this is going to be a cracking little game. Raiders have been going pretty well. I think they've won 6 out of 7 or something like that. So they're going to be no mugs, especially at home as well, and that emotional kind of boost from Croker's 300th game. They're going to just try and make life really unpleasant for us. But who are you expecting to see in the starting lineup next week?
For us, I am expecting to see pretty much the same. Well, actually,
Walker
injuries. Walker should be back. I think he was meant to be back for this coming weekend. So I know he was named, but they did say it was round 15. He was going to be back, so 2 weeks. So fingers crossed he can get back to the bench. Obviously, we'll need a centre. I think Rocco, I feel sorry for him, but he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, poor Rocco.
Yeah, and I had a feeling like he ran it, he took that hit up and I was like, Rocco, you got to be hard, and then he got dropped. But to veer is an illegal act. And there's been a bit of banter around, it was a head clash, but it was only a head clash because he did a shoulder charge that brought his head forward into his head
The whiplash motion.
and knocked him out in the whiplash motion. And as Tohu said, if he tackled properly, he wouldn't have knocked him out. And then they said, is it Atkins, whoever the fuck it was, said, no, it wasn't caused by the shoulder charge. Match review look at it and they go, yes, it was caused by the shoulder charge, and there's 3 weeks. So how the fuck can you get a 3-week suspension and only get a penalty on the field?
It was a stupid
Motherfuckers.
Mate,
Easy, Grant Atkins.
Yeah, lucky it didn't cost us, But so sorry, back to your question. Who am I expecting to be there? Good question. So I don't think Cossey's back yet. So it could be a shootout between Vailea and Viliami, Because I think Vailea's due back, but it's probably going to be Viliami because he played, didn't he?
Correct. Yeah, he did play. So he's got fitness on his side. Plus, a bit of experience as well. If they're looking for someone with a bit of defensive sort of nous, maybe they could be looking in his direction. Because if they put Vailea in there, it could be a gamble on a couple of fronts. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do.
So there's another big call in that as well in the forward pack because if Walker does come back, who sits out? So I think last week Ale was not outside the 17. He was 18th man.
Yep.
So I think that spot is the Bunty, is Ale, Bunty, Ale, Bunty, Ale. I think at the moment the leading Bunty.
You wouldn't drop
obviously
Cyril?
Bunty's- Well, you don't have Freddie Lussick. So it depends if you want Dylan Walker to play Spell Egan. So that's also another option as well. But if you have a back injury as well, do you want Walker? It depends where you want Walker to play. Because if you want him to be in the middle, you can't have him. I don't know. For me, I don't want him to spell at 9 and then I don't want him to be pushed out into the backs for injury.
Those buns there.
Kind of want him in the middle, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I kind of feel like with the Canberra forward pack, though, being the big boppers that they are, we're going to need to almost fight fire with fire. We might need a bigger bench. Where I see, I could sort of see Ciro dropping off for Walker, and and having Barnett, Curran, and Ale on there.
I think what you might see though, Nia Corday might come into the middle too. They've used him a little bit in the middle, and to bring, because obviously Curran had to play quite a big load last week as well. So, interesting. I don't know. I like the fact that Ciro can spell Egan for at least 10, 15 minutes, and I just don't want. And actually, Tohu might need a break because I think you can't get him to go 80 each week.
Ciro's also come good the last couple of weeks. Although he's played pretty well.
Yeah,
adding a bit of juice from the bench. Moneta, do you think Mitch Barnett is ready to go from the bench into a starting
I think there's
role?
still a bit of there was an article about him. Was it yesterday that he's still kind of getting his confidence back a bit because of his neck. So I reckon one more game off the bench and we'll see him off. He could possibly start next game, but I think it's just putting his confidence back in. But the way he played, he could do it, but I think it's more of a mental thing for him at the moment. So yeah.
Sure. So then it would
He
be...
seemed to be all right just with that one play. So I don't know if you've seen on TV, but when he got held up, it looked like he ran from halfway. He was fucking charging from miles back to get that ball. It was awesome, man. Like,
but that's the thing, right? You want to manage him
run
appropriately so he
hard
plays
at
for
the line.
longer. So I want to keep him there for a long time, not a short time.
Yeah. Oh, he brought awesome energy, and I think that's the thing with Walker and him. Without Jazz there, Barnett and Walker could come on together, and they're just bringing heaps of line speed, heaps of energy.
Isaac, where does this game get won against the Raiders?
In the middle. The Raiders forwards are going gangbusters at the moment. Big Papa, Big Red, Horsburgh, Tarpanay, Hudson Young, Origin player. Their forward
Grubson Young.
Grubson Young. And their forward pack is leading from the front and making the jobs for the halves just that much easier. So that's where we're going to have to win. We're going to need AFB to slow down his way to another 200 meters this game because he's going to have some, heavy hitters in the opposition team. Like that forward pack is dominant, but if we can tire them out, and as the Warriors have done in the past, run them down, that's where we can win the game. But that's probably the key. But a big mention to their back five as well. Their back five are pretty similar to ours. They are really good returners of the ball, and they make their forward pack's job just that much easier for them. So we're going to have to watch out and contain their back five, particularly Rapana, who's been playing great as well recently.
There's going to be a lot of emotion in this game, of course, for Jared Croker. Buddha, do you think that it's a case of, as the visiting team, do we look to just try and absorb what they throw at us early and sort of, take that emotion and use it against them and then just try and, roll on them in the second half?
Yeah, bro. I think that's where we win. Even watching that Tigers Raiders game back. By the way, they scored 3 tries through kicks as well. So, I don't want to jinx us, but I didn't think the attack was up to fuck all, really. And kicks fortuitous, right? So I think if we handle that, we're going to handle their boppers. But I think we're a team that they fade. What do we used to call them? They fade. They showed that element on that last week. Within 10 minutes, the Tigers were winning that game, right? I think that's where this game is won. If we can absorb that first half, the big guys at the middle, and then just come home late and get them. I think we've got plenty of energy, and it all depends how, the luck of the bench, injuries, all that sort of stuff go. But we're fit, man. We can withstand them.
Moneta, give us I guess an individual matchup you're looking forward to. You got some good ones. There's Papali'i versus Adam. You got Corey Horsburgh versus Tohu Harris. You got Sean Johnson
You got
against
Rapana and
Jamal Fogarty, who is
DWZ.
criminally underrated.
That should be a good one. Yeah. I guess being a winger back in the old days.
Liking that one?
Yeah. No, that should be good because I heard he had a good game, Rapana. But that one should be good. And no.
Yeah.
I think it should just be a good game overall. It'll be a close one. I don't think it'd be like it was on the weekend, but I think it'd be quite a tight grudge match. Like I just said, the battle of the forwards. I'm looking forward to that. And just seeing if AFB can bring, and Barnett can bring the intensity of that, like they did on the weekend.
Yeah, beauty. Boys, last words for the game on Friday. It is Friday, right? Against Raiders?
Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Final word from you fellas. Isaac, what do you got, bro?
Go SJ. I want to see him go. I want to see him go carnival with the feet. That's all I want to see. And he's got it over the Canberra. He likes playing Canberra. So yeah, I want to see SJ just do what he do.
Dance. Buddha?
Oh, it's going to be a big man fest, isn't it? Big men going at big men.
Grinder.
Ground and pound. It's going to be a real grind affair. It's going to be strap yourselves in for that, man. No, you fuckers. I mean, that's where the showpiece are. But do you know what I think? Who's going to have the maddest game is
CNK.
Mr. Wade.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Wader.
CNK coming back. He's got a point to prove, right? Didn't pretty much get jack all football in the last 12 months,
Mm-hmm.
But I also think Wade Egan is going to just fucking pull the strings. He's going to run those big boys around him, and get us over the line.
Wade Egan is just smooth like Whitaker's chocolate. I'm just going to say that. This has been Warriors Anonymous. You can check us out on Facebook, Insta, Twitter. Subscribe and follow us on
Grinder.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
Ground and pound.
Whatever platform you want to find us, come and find us.
If you want some ground and pound.
It's been fun. Actually, before we go, fellas, just wanted to say on a bit more of a somber sort of note to finish the episode with, I just want to give a shout out to Hammer, Mark Carter from the Ruin Hammer podcast, a mate of mine, and he's had his old man pass away in the last few days, so just want to send our thoughts out to him. Thinking of him and his whānau at this time, because it's obviously not a it's a tough time if you lose a parent. Just really thinking of you, bro, and we'll look forward to hopefully catch up with Ruin Hammer at some stage on our podcast or their podcast, or we'll do the whole crossover podcast at the end of the year kind of thing, like we do. So sorry to just bring it down a bit, but
good, bro.
Hey, it's all in perspective.
Happy to
my
be
name is Jared Cronin on behalf of Moneta Sauce. Welcome back, bro. Isaac Sauce, rocking the Woody, and Buddha, our man on the scene. Thanks again, fellas, for another great week, and hopefully a big win coming up against the Raiders over in Canberra. So let's do it on the way out. Let's do it big. Probably about to wake up the wife. Get in trouble, but that's all right. Go the Warriors!